Amad Diallo, the hat-trick hero. You can call him what you want, but I tell you what, he's one of the reasons as to why today we are really having a wide smile from one ear to the other, because he has come up and represented for the club of Manchester United for close to, hear me out, for close to 80 minutes. United was trailing by a goal down at Old Trafford, and I was like, we have to win this game of football. However much we had taken all that long time without scoring a goal, I was like, we have to win this game of football. And I was 100% sure that we were really going to win it. And when the equalizer came in through, I really went ahead, obviously breathe out. And I said, all right, it's now on. It's game on. And Man United is really going to have what we call a squeezy. It's called a squeezy bum what? There is something that Sir Alex Ferguson went ahead, obviously say about this beautiful game of football, and I wrote it somewhere. It was squeezy bum time for the club of Manchester United. We came up, we represented, and we've emerged the winners of this beautiful game of football at Old Trafford. 3-1 in favor of Manchester United, and Amad Diallo is the hat-trick hero, and smashed like button close to 100 times if at all you feel like. Amad Diallo is really sensational and is really going to be the man leading this Ruben Amorim era. I know some people are thinking that it's going to be Kobe Mainoo, it's going to be Bruno Fernandes, maybe Marcus Rashford, maybe Rasmus Højlund, name it. But if you ask me, who is that player that is going to obviously raise up his hand to obviously represent and really put in a very huge shift in for this Ruben Amorim era, I'll tell you it's none other than Amad Diallo. So Amad Diallo has scored 3 goals today. It's his first senior hat-trick. I tell you, it's his first senior hat-trick in his career, and that's how amazing he is. And before he scored these 3 goals today, Amad Diallo had scored 3 goals into the Premier League. I think he scored against Liverpool, he scored against Man City, and he scored against Brighton. Those were the 3 goals that Amad Diallo had gone ahead obviously score. You understand? He scored against. Now today, he has taken his tally to 6. And for your information, he went ahead obviously put in 6 assists. He has 6 goals and 6 assists. That is Amad Diallo for you. That's what makes him a different kind of player. And you know to eat well, if you've been on this channel for the years we've been here since, I think, 2020, I've always gone ahead obviously tell you how good this player is. And when we paid £35 million to obviously bring him onto the side of Manchester United, you understand, there are lots of things that we have said. I remember, was it a manager, was it who was asked, was it Ralf Rangnick, and was like, I don't remember who the manager was, when asked about a CDM, and he said, I'm not the one who went ahead obviously bringing Alejandro Garnacho for £35 million, yet United needed a CDM. Was it Ralf Rangnick by then? You understand? But the player has gone ahead obviously not ashame me, because I've been one of those people that have gone ahead obviously defend Amad Diallo. Even when he came in through and scored against AC Milan, he had the first 2 seasons at Manchester United, not bad. Loan to Rangers, got injured, got back to Old Trafford. Eric Ten Hag came. He really had a very huge go into the first pre-season of Eric Ten Hag, but Eric Ten Hag went ahead obviously see to it that loaning him to the side of Southampton, so to the side of Sunderland was the best, and it went ahead obviously pay off a lot, you know. And by the way, if you are here, I can ask you, who was the last United player to score a hat-trick? I think, was it I think it was Rasmus Højlund. Was it a hat-trick? I think it has been long since we last saw a player of United scoring a hat-trick, guys. I don't even remember. It shows you that it has been really hard for us to obviously score hat-tricks as a club of Manchester United. But the guy has raised up to the occasion and gotten us a win. Now, how important is this win for Man United? And this is why Amad Diallo should be one of those players that everyone should be really looking at this time. One, ever since Ruben Amorim came into the club of Manchester United, he had gone ahead to play 4 Premier League games and he had only 1 win. and 3 losses. He won against Everton I think it was 4-1, 4-0, 4-1. Then he came up and really lost to Nottingham Forest. He lost to Bournemouth. He lost to Newcastle. And this was his 5th game at Old Trafford. And he went ahead to obviously win it. That is really good for him. And knocking out Arsenal makes sense, but it makes more sense if at all you come to Old Trafford and beat the side of Southampton. Because United had to make a statement. If you are playing one of the teams that is obviously almost, I think they're lying bottom onto the Premier League table, right? And they're only having 6 points. They really have 17 losses ever since they came through the Premier League. And United doesn't beat a team that is lying bottom onto the Premier League table. That would have gone ahead to be a very, very bad result for the club of Manchester United. Because if Newcastle beats you, all right, they are 4th. Bournemouth are really ahead of us. And even Nottingham Forest are really 3rd. Are seated 3rd on the Premier League table. But how would you lose to a team that is really on the bottom of the table? That means that you are really bad and you are not really going anywhere. But this win obviously comes in through at a very right time for the club of Manchester United to obviously see to it that we really get better and better and better, especially for the manager, Ruben Amorim. But how did the game of football really go? In the first half, in the 43rd minute, we conceded an own goal coming in through from Manuel Ugarte. Now, United scored its first goal into the 82nd minute. You understand? It was Christian Eriksen went ahead to obviously do that a little bit of a ball over the top, and it was a very good interplay in between Amad Diallo and Eriksen, and Amad Diallo went ahead to obviously score that goal. Secondly, it was another beautiful goal scored by Amad, and then in the 90th plus 4th minute, Amad Diallo came up and obviously buried that ball into the back of the net after pressing the defender, and he went ahead to obviously get the ball from him and laid that ball into the back of the net. And that's how the game of football went ahead obviously end by 3-1. And I think it's really a relief for the manager. And one thing I want to let you know is that let's be behind the manager. Let's be behind the manager, because that's the only thing we should obviously give him. Let's give him time, because we all know to it that he's new here, he's a novice, and lots of things are not right at the club of Manchester United. And for the problems we've been in for the last 12 years, ever since Alex Ferguson left, they can't be, they can't be resolved by this man in just 1 year. And there is a story I read that I want to obviously come and obviously front to you. Amorim had told the board of United that he needs 6. Is it 6 transfer windows to obviously transform the club of Manchester United? Meaning that he needs 3 summer transfer windows and 3 winter transfer windows. But will the money be available for the club of Manchester United to come up and obviously get this done and dusted? That is the most important bit of it all. But all in all, winning this beautiful game of football has been really important. But before we won this game, I tell you, it would have gone ahead to get from bad to worse. Suleiman from Ghana, who was being played as a left attacking midfielder into that system, schooled Leny Yoro. Leny Yoro was really roasted and cooked by this Ghanaian international, that is Suleimana. But he really had 3 good chances. Though the first one in the first half, Onana went ahead to deny him. Second one, I think he was a little bit selfish. A cutback would have wanted to make sense. And I think there was another one where he sat down Leny Yoro, and obviously the back of Matthias de Ligt went ahead obviously come to our rescue. Otherwise, he would have gone ahead obviously kill us off immediately, and I really felt like we were living dangerously into those moments. Not until we got in 1 goal, and I was like, even that 1 goal is not enough, because all what we needed was a win. All what we needed was a win into that beautiful game of football. So that's what we had in there at the club of Manchester United, Old Trafford. What a win, big one coming in through from the boy himself. But I'd love to give the manager kudos because of the substitutions he made that were like sending a message to the players that you started this game of football and performing very well. You know, Rasmus Højlund, I think the first person to be taken off was who was the first person to be taken off? You know, let me see here. Let me have a look here. Because Anthony came on at halftime and the manager did the needful. What he did was he took off was it Kobe Mainoo first? He took off Kobe Mainoo and brought on Anthony, and Anthony went ahead to obviously play as a right wing back, and Amad Diallo went ahead to obviously join Bruno Fernandes into sharing that number 10 role, you know. And then he took off Manuel Ugarte and brought on Toby Collier. Then he took off Mazraoui, Rasmus Højlund, and he brought on Joshua Zirkzee and which other player was brought on? You know, Harry Maguire came on and Eriksson came on. I think those substitutions had United pile more pressure onto the side of Southampton. And remember, the second half, we are scoring towards it's called the straightforward end. And United was all over the park and went ahead to put in a very big shift in there. As a club of Manchester United, I loved how we never gave up. 1 goal down, coming back, and we scored those 3 goals, and that is really very important. And if we keep doing that, we'll obviously get ourselves to better sides. But I want to obviously put in the disclaimer. If we are playing a better side that had better quality, I think it would have gone ahead to obviously get this game back. United looked ugly, you know, for close to 70 minutes, I tell you. And for those 70 minutes, Southampton really created very many chances that would have gone ahead to result into us conceding very, very many goals. So I don't want us to jubilate like we've gone ahead, obviously, get back to the winning ways. But we have to look at the negatives of this game of football because our next opponent is Brighton at Old Trafford over the weekend. And that shows you that we need to do the needful and see to it that we be very, very solid and stop conceding such stupid goals. And then even how those teams keep past us. You know, if it's Mitoma, Yao Pedro, and is it Mintek, who are really going to be attacking us over the weekend, I think it's going to be a Sunday, and we defend as we've gone ahead to defend today, I tell you, we are done. We are done. Brighton will come and walk away with 3 points at Old Trafford because for the 70 minutes we looked ugly. You know, that side of Lenioro was really bad, and I understand he's just trying to get to suit it to the Premier League, but even him being fast couldn't obviously help him because Sulemana skipped past him every time he really found him or faced him. You know, that's not what you would want to hear from a player who is being praised for his pace. And the manager went ahead and obviously hailed him too at the beginning of the game that they've gone ahead to bench Harry Maguire and bring in Lenny Yoro. Reason being, this player is really good when it comes to really tracking back, and he's really very fast, you know. But he couldn't obviously stop Southampton's fastest player on the pitch. And I think when Dibbling went ahead to obviously get out, then their attacking trio went ahead to obviously gate a little bit of a deficit and or a deficiency, and they couldn't obviously operate well because when Dibbling was there, they really had 2 players off the right and off the left central attacking areas of the pitch who could obviously threaten the club of Manchester United as they attacked us left, right, and center. So I tell you this, we survived, and the good thing is that we've gone ahead to obviously get in these 3 points. But all I want to say is a win is always a win, and I want us to obviously get in more and more and more and more and more and more and more. But we're a little bit wasteful in the first half, especially for that chance where Bruno Fernandes released Rasmus Højlund, and Rasmus Højlund put in a cutback for Alejandro Garnacho, and Garnacho went ahead, obviously failed to be on target into there. But for Alejandro Garnacho, I think he really had a very huge day for me. Unselfish, this time I had 3 shots at goal, and he had in some good cutback crosses. One of those that would have gone ahead to put United early enough into an equalizing mode around the 60th minute or 67th minute, where he went ahead, obviously put in that cross at the face of goal, and Anthony went ahead to obviously miss that sitter. You understand? And Garnacho today went ahead to put in some good, beautiful crosses, and I'm like, all right, he's really improving. And by the way, when you look at how he has been playing in the previous 3 games, you ask yourself, should we sell him or not sell him? Because if you sell him and you bring in another player, do you think he's going to hit the ground running like Garnacho? That is the most important bit of it all. Is he going to hit the ground running like Alejandro Garnacho? So we're here to wait and see how that pans out. But United has really gone ahead, obviously getting their win. And for me, it's all about United and no one else. You understand? And what a way for United to obviously come back and put in a very good shift in there for you. So that's what happened at Old Trafford, and hope you guys went ahead obviously watch everything. But my manager Ruben Amorim, kudos to you, because I really liked what you went ahead to put up into the mix. Now let's get into the match stats and how they really thrived. 23 shots by Man United. Southampton had 13. 9 shots on target by Man United. 5 shots on target by Southampton. 59% ball possession by Man United. 41% ball possession by Southampton. 573 passes completed by Man United. Then 405 passes completed by Southampton. 84% passing accuracy by Manchester United. 79% passing accuracy by Southampton. 7 fouls by Man United. And 10 fouls by Southampton. 1 yellow card to Man United and 3 yellow cards to Southampton. No red cards issued to any team today. And then 0 red cards issued to both sides. 2 offsides to Man United. 0 offsides to Southampton. 4 corners to both sides. That's how everything went ahead to pan out at the stadium of Old Trafford. And good for that. And United grew in the game early or slowly by slowly. And I was like, all right, that is really good for the club of Manchester United. And I really got intrigued. But we need to obviously show these clubs like Southampton that we are really that team that can obviously do the needful. Now, after playing 21 games, Liverpool is on top, 47 points with 20 games. Arsenal, 43. Nottingham, 41. Newcastle, 38. Chelsea, 37. Then Man City, 35. Aston Villa, 35. Bournemouth, 34. Brighton, 31. Fulham, 30. Brentford, 28. And Man United is having 26 points. Brentford is going to be hosting Liverpool over the weekend. United is going to be hosting Brighton. And all I want to say is, let's get this win on. Because if we continue to win our games, I tell you, don't be shocked when we'll be competing to be into the top 6 teams. Because the 6th team is Man City. It's having 35 points. And they are just 9 points ahead of Man United. Points that we can easily level up to. But leveling them up to means that you need to be consistent, like on winning. If we can win like 5 games consecutively, I think that will be great. And from Southampton, I think we'll be playing Fulham, right? Let me have a look at our next 5 games in the Premier League. Brighton at home, Fulham away, Crystal Palace at home, Tottenham away, Everton away. 5 games, you understand? Everton, Tottenham, Fulham, away. We're going to be playing 2 games at Old Trafford. So, I think if we play well and defend well, we can beat Brighton at Old Trafford. Away at Fulham, I don't really fancy ourselves, obviously, get 3 points there. But I think we can beat Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. Everton and Spurs, I'm a little bit picky about that, but it will depend on how the summer transfer window really goes. But don't forget that on the 6th of March, we'll be hosting Arsenal at the Old Trafford Stadium. So guys, that's what we had for you into the match reaction here onto the Rock United Matters channel. And I think I've gone ahead, obviously, tell you almost everything. But no clean sheet kept. I don't know when we last kept a clean sheet, guys. You know, Bashir Sendagide, we are united. Moses Hayes, Amad is united, is savior. All right. Raga Venom, good morning, bro. That is what we are missing. That spirit of never say never. And we have to give Amad his flowers. Hope Ten Hag sees the difference. We love you, bro. But I think I really pity everyone who comes out and says, every time you say Ten Hag, blah, 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 blah. Ten Hag is the first manager at Manchester United who entrusted or who fully put his trust in Amad Diallo. You know, towards the end of last season, he trusted him. And even when this season was starting, you know, he trusted him. Apart from the last 3-4 games that Ten Hag managed as a manager of Manchester United, I think they really had some issues because Ten Hag was a disciplinarian, and I think that really caused that. But Ten Hag was one of the first managers of Man United to trust Amad Diallo to obviously be that player at Manchester United. Even when last winter transfer window, when he was really willing to obviously be sold to another club where he's obviously going to be enjoying his football, Ten Hag stood out and said, no, you're going nowhere. He convinced him and told him, please stay around. You're going to be getting in minutes as a player of Man United. So I don't know why people like Ten Hag is seeing the difference. You know, for me, my problem with Ten Hag was that he benched and really never gave this boy minutes when he needed him most. And I think if we had him on the games of Aston Villa, Fenerbahce, and very many others, he would have gone to obviously come and really make a very huge difference into the games. Warrior, for instance, United thought we won, but we have to improve Rokani. But congratulations to Amad Diallo and Onana, who contributed to this win. By the way, you talk about Andre Onana, guys, he was one of those players that put in a very fantastic performance, you know, because he came to our savior on like 3-4 times, and he put in some good saves into that team. You understand? He put in some huge saves into that game of football. And thank you for reminding me about Andre Onana. You know, sometimes the hat-trick might forget you, who was going to obviously keep you in the game, to see to it that hat-trick, by the time it comes up, it is really making some huge sense. You understand? Then, please talk about Zexi in this game. There is something special that he adds to this team, though he doesn't score. And I've already said this, that Zexi is a different kind of player, special kind of player, and you've seen it. When he came on and playing against Arsenal, you saw how he really was a problem to them. Even when we are playing against Liverpool, he laid that ball to Harry Maguire, and Harry Maguire hit it over the bar. You understand? So there is something special with Joshua Zexi. Even today, you saw to it that he really had almost a hand in every goal that we scored today. That is Joshua Zexi. And for me, if I'm having a striker like that, he doesn't score goals, but he's involved in really creating chances and really the build-up of goals. That's better, because you are talking about of him not scoring, but he's the reason as to why we scored 3 goals. He has been part of every goal that has gone ahead to be scored by Man United today. So all I want to let you know is that goals are really gonna come in through. And I think I've seen some people say Zexi should start the next game. I think let's give the manager a chance, because we've seen it that even when he starts sometimes looks bad, he comes off the bench, he looks good. So I think let's obviously have him as that striker who comes on when Rasmus Højlund has gone ahead obviously do the donkey work and really tear down these players. You understand? You know, tear down these players, and all will be great. And for you saying he doesn't score, he's always in a graveyard shift, because How many chances has he been created today? I don't remember. There have been many. Then Nani, I pray that Amad keep it up. He'll keep it up. He'll keep it up because consistency is part of his game. And you see it that he's really doing it left, right, and center. And for your information, he has gone ahead obviously to score 6 goals into the league. 2 into, I think, let me check for Amad Diallo here. He has 6 goals and 6 assists in the Premier League. That is Amad Diallo. EFL Cup, he has 1 goal and 1 assist, taking him to 7 goals and 7 assists. And UEFA Europa League, 2 goals, meaning that he has 9 goals and 7 assists. 17 goal contribution this season. In how many games? In 28 games. So, meaning that every 2 games, he averages a goal or an assist. That is the beauty of this player known as Amad Diallo. I just love him die. And you know, if you were regular on this channel, you know how I love this young lad. Garnacho should leave before Napoli pulls out. For me, I think he's improving. And things might change because he's really playing very well. And the manager might be like, let me obviously have this guy here, you know, and see how he's going to be performing in here. Because he might be changing and playing like that because he's sending a message to Napoli that, please, do you think I'm not worth the amount of money that United is obviously requesting, you know, for you to pay for me? You know, he might be sending a message to them that, please, I'm really more than what you think. You know, this is what I have in my tank and you're missing out. And maybe Napoli will be like, let's obviously pay the amount of money that Man United has really gone ahead, obviously bring on the table. So for me, I'm like, it's going to be tricky because he's really performing very well. Joseph Titus, long time ago for a player to score a hat-trick. I think it's really long. I cannot even recall when we last saw a player scoring a hat-trick, especially into the Premier League. But if he can be our talisman this season, I tell you, he can really put in that. And all we need to see to it that is to play him to the number 10 position. Let's not play him as a right wing back, because today the manager was like, I'm not going to play him as a number 10. I'm going to first play him as a right wing back. And when we go down, he brings him in the number 10 role and really plays there a player called Anthony. That is really good of the manager. His substitutions were really on point. Fred Kabaya, it was a fantastic moment for United. All right, it was. And then Oburu Emmanuel. Hey, Rokani, this boy is unpredictable. Amad is deadly. He's deadly. And very soon you will see very many people come up and obviously give him his flowers. But he's a deadly guy. And I know that all the back pages are really going to be having Amad Diallo there, who came to our saving. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. That's what I had for you here onto the United Matters channel as the match reaction for Man United, as we went ahead obviously beat the side of Southampton. But all in all, it was a very beautiful game that we went ahead obviously enjoy. And I tell you what, football is football. Amad Diallo, dramatic late hat-trick, turned the game around as United is beat Southampton by 3-1 at Old Trafford. And if such wins keep coming, that means no team will obviously fear you. You know, they'll be like, also won't fear you. They'll be like, oh, that guy is really doing great on TikTok and other streaming platforms. And we need to obviously see to it that Amad Diallo gets his flowers. So thank you very much for watching through. This is what we have for you onto this channel, and continue to subscribe because we want to hit 20,100. So please subscribe. How do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner is the place to be, and you won't regret, or you'll thank me later about what I've gonna hit obviously get you up and running. So 3-1 hat-trick hero, that is Amad Diallo. I'm gonna be returning I think with the player ratings, but here for you guys, and I think this is the third video of the day. I think we are trying to obviously come back a little bit and put in what you guys deserve and desire from us. You can go into the video section. There are already some good videos about Garnacho exit hint and Amorim wanting Goncalo Inacio to Man United. What else haven't I discussed? You know, Delete was really superb. Lisandro Martinez, obviously nice. And Manuel Ugarte is struggling a little bit, but the manager took him off because he knows to it that he had a bad day in office and needed players that were really forward-going and forward-thinking. Bruno Fernandes, that's where he came in through and represented to the fullest, and we are like, all right, go and play into the CDM alongside Toby Collier. That's what the manager did, and we did the needful. So for me, I'm always excited for such these games to come in through and see to it that Man United really gets in the wins that they do deserve. Bye-bye. I'm out.